It's that time. It's time for the dopest sports show on radio to invade your airways. It's The Crush, streaming live on the Sensation Station Network and also broadcasting on WBLZSports.com. After this weekend, I can take my title back. I am your humble co-host, D. Glaze. And with me as he had to get testified and tested, Maceo Hurd. What's happening, Hurd?
The jerk is back. I am a jerk officially again. Yes, I am.
He had to go in and
boy,
deal with some people's.
Boy,
I'm glad you didn't get thrown out though. That's all I'm glad you're respectable.
I want to get thrown out. I watched 60 days, 60 days and Fulton County.
Yeah.
I ain't about that right street life.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying.
Everybody thinking about it, but everybody.
Nah, everybody not about that life. Nah. And then y'all, they really acted on that. I hate to bust y'all bubble on that, but they really acted.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous. You notice they only be in like two different pods. Go down one floor or go up one floor.
Yeah.
It's going down real heavy.
That's where them people at.
That's where they at.
Yeah, that's where the people
where they at though.
What you said, they stay on that one pod?
Yeah, they stay in the two pods. They in 500, 600. They're like
you can't be giving away secrets, man.
Oh my bad. Those all the guys who be like kiting chicks and ran out of Foot Locker, with some shoes and got caught.
Oh, them the small crimes. What you say?
Right, petty crimes.
Petty crimes. See, I thought they were hard, didn't they? They were not.
Nah.
How was weekend, sir?
It was good.
Shout out to Cricket Wireless, man.
Oh yeah,
out there in LaGrange, Georgia.
I got to finally hold the Super Bowl trophy.
Well, you had to put it on. You did. I can't take you nowhere, man.
Nah, you can't take me nowhere. Listen, that's about the acceptance speech I would have gave.
He did an acceptance speech.
Right. I'm extra like that.
Everybody saw it.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm gonna share it again real soon.
No.
You don't want to see it no more. Producer says she don't want to see it no more.
Whatever. There's some other people who might not have seen it.
Yeah, you got to make sure everybody see it. Man.
Right.
I just happened to be in person when I saw it.
Right. And you act like you weren't paying me no attention. That's why I added you in the speech.
I know. I heard.
Right.
I multitasked.
Yeah.
Not with a cat. Not multitasked.
You can act like you paying the folks some attention. You weren't really paying Buddy right there no attention. Who you talking to?
That was Cricket Wireless, man.
Yeah. No, I'm talking when you talking to. Let's keep going.
See, you trying to call people out, man.
I ain't saying that.
Hey, man, we got a great show for you guys today.
Yes, sir.
We introduced you to one of the most entrepreneurial guys I know.
Hey, man. Can I get a job?
Hey.
Can I broadcast?
He's got resumes. He's got it all. So he's hired everybody we know. I looked on there one time like, wait a minute, did he get every guest that we had on the show?
Can I cover the chess matches? I just want to.
You about to be doing everything.
I want to do play-by-play for chess.
If you do cricket, we gonna cover you.
Right.
Marques Burnett, man, SUV TV. We're gonna hear about the whole thing. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna break it down and so everybody just listen, man. Sometimes if the lane ain't there, create yours.
Man, create your own lane, man.
And that's what we're going to talk about. That's why I'm glad he's in. But he's going to be here for our hot topic, man. We got a good hot topic. We're going to talk about that. And then we got our rundown. Really is going to be popping. Then the 6'8" guy walks in the building. Lewis Preston, we're crashing the boards with him today. I'm sure he got a lot to talk about. One topic, I might as well just throw it out there for everybody. We're going to talk about Michigan State and how the downfall of a program is about to happen.
As long as Andre Rising name don't come up, I'm good.
Boy, just think of that.
It wasn't nothing going on. That wasn't going on when Rising was there.
Oh, man, boy. Woof. All right, Heathcliff gone, ain't he?
Yeah. Darren D. Brown, we're going to talk about it.
And we got all that, man. So this intro is brought to you by people at Erica Mitchell and Associates with Keller Williams First Atlanta Realty. Look to buy or sell a home in less than 30 days. Call Erica today. Atlanta's top producing luxury agent, professional, and dependable realtor, exceeding all your real estate expectations. Go to Erica Mitchell, ERICKA Mitchell.kw.com or give her a call at 678-371-3444 for more information. Get back.
That boy can read over there.
Hey, man. Had to read up my 2 times.
That boy can read over there.
When we come back, man, hot topic. Y'all stay with us. It's The Crush.
Hey, y'all been with me. I forgot my glasses. Be like that sometimes when you bifocals. Hey, Morgan. 2 chips.
Mark Burnett, SUV.
Hey, check it out, y'all.
Yep.
So, usually, my hands are never ashy. So today, I'm tell y'all, I got to tell y'all because y'all my people.
Is it SUV by itself?
I forgot
SUV TV.
to put lotion on my hands. Never feel. Love collection by this. The shea butter. Look at my hands now, they glowing. Look at that, boy. Woo!
That shea butter ain't no joke, boy.
Y'all holler at Elizabeth Roundtree. The Love Collection. Look at this shea butter right there. Look at that. Look at that thing right there. Yeah. I got them hands and them elbows. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got them. Yes, indeed. Let's go. Well, I was going to ask you what the hot topic is, but you don't know tell me what the hot topic is, so really don't matter.
You have to just be ready for everything.
Man, don't mess up my audition. I'm trying to be able to cover play-by-play for chess.
Can you imagine this? Hey, man, that was a good move. Watch the rook. Watch the rook. Oh, he moved the rook. Oh, let's check, y'all. Let's check. Let's check.
Let's look at the execution, how he banged the clock. Replay.
Oh, look at the move. Look at the move.
Oh, he moved the queen one space over.
We do it all, man.
Yes. Listen, y'all. I'm going to be covering spelling bees like I before E.
Coming back to hot topic.
That's a big word. Cheat them. Hey man, everybody, go into this hot topic for the day that we're gonna talk about with our guest, Marques Burnett of SUVT. We're gonna do the full introduction now, but we're gonna talk to it right now. Let me ask the question. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe share with Marques. Let me know. My hot topic is anybody want to see this Super Bowl this year? Ooh, because I'm like, it is dead. I mean, Tom Brady talking about people mad at people talking about his daughter, but I know people in Atlanta, they mad because of what happened last year. And everybody tired of seeing it. Now they going around, oh, they cheat all the time, all that. Is greatness ruining the Super Bowl? Let me ask you, Michelle, start you off.
Listen, of course I'm going for the New England Patriots because I can't cheer for the Philadelphia Eagles because I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. So that's first and foremost. Listen, my dad always told us that, winning cures everything. Mm-hmm. And everybody hates a winner. So if you hating on the Patriots, you hate winning. And it's the Super Bowl.
Right.
Everybody's excited about Super Bowl now. Locally, see, that's what we got to understand. We can't just look at our pocket and be like, oh, nobody here talking about Super Bowl. Listen, trust me, everybody around America talking about Super Bowl. Now, everybody might be in their feelings here because of what happened last year, but everybody's excited about Super Bowl.
And I had to say, we track a lot. I looked at the Twitter, man. We got a lot of national publications. It just doesn't feel anybody gives Philadelphia a chance, Marques. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Well, I mean, I feel like with the Patriots, I think Maceo brought up a great point. It's a lot of hate there, but in sports, a lot of times hate is synonymous with respect. Those guys win. Those guys get the job done. So I think for the Patriots, I'm expecting that too. I think of the whole NBA Live season growing up. I would probably simulate this game if I was playing this season. I would probably simulate through this one to kind of check the result. But hey, much respect to what both teams did to get there. But if this were my season on the video game, I'm simulating through this one.
I think Maceo just brought up a point. People really don't like neither squad. It's the Northeast Super Bowl.
Right.
And it's like, do you really like Philly?
I think if Carson Wentz is playing, I think maybe we have
a good point. Good point.
But no Wentz.
It's just like, I ain't trying to bring it down, but Philly people hate Philly fans.
Without a doubt.
But so you got a fan base you hate.
But that's what makes this more interesting because just think what the Philly fans are going to do in Minnesota. Now let's talk about this first and foremost. It's not sexy because the Super Bowl is in Minnesota. We're so used to Super Bowls always being either in the southern region or out in California where it's good weather. Think about it. People don't even get excited to go travel to the Super Bowl anymore. So I think a lot of that takes away from it too. Who going to Minnesota?
I think if it was two sexy teams, I think, I ain't gonna lie.
The teams are actually sexy, Blaze.
No, it's not, man.
They're actually sexy.
People hate them New England, and people really hate Philly.
But it's the same way everybody felt about Georgia-Alabama national championship game. It's the same thing. Yeah. It seems regional.
Georgia was unknown. It wasn't nobody really hate. I'm looking at this. Philly fan threw batteries and beers at people.
They've always done
That's
that.
what I'm saying. So ain't too many people got love for the Philly fans. So it's like, Marques, whoever lose, people be like, all right.
And I think with Georgia, Alabama, you had a potential for either team to win. I think in this one, you just kind of feel like the Philly stagecoach is going to turn into a pumpkin by the end of the Super Bowl.
So Nick Foles can only do so much.
What have we seen? The Patriots, this is their time of year, man. I mean, I didn't write the book. I just read it. It's going to be very tough to take that Philly firepower and be able to beat a team that expects to win and has a track record that reflects it.
I just think, man, it should be interesting. I think, with a horrible Pro Bowl, which I can't stand that game anymore.
Garbage.
But just looking to it, and we're gonna see what happens. I think everybody will tune in. It's the Super Bowl. It's the biggest show in the world.
Super Bowl.
But
it might not be a lot of Super Bowl parties and options from that, but people gonna still watch. It's Super Bowl.
I've been watching national. I got a lot of when national people. I'm like, it's some good thing, but everybody got like it's a foregone conclusion and all that. But at the end of the day, if Brady wins 6, boy, y'all gonna really hate him.
They already hate him.
But if he wins 6,
I tell you this:
the only second team in the NFL to win 6.
If you hate Brady, do not go watch Tom versus Time. You will really hate Brady.
Yeah.
You will really hate Brady. Listen, it's a great little series they got going on. I recommend it, but you can't hate greatness, everybody. Can't.
Hey man, y'all can say he cheated. He did everything else. You can't cheat for 19 years.
Right. Plus, if it's any team that the NFL don't want the Super Bowl, it's the Patriots.
Yeah, I love watching y'all, man. Y'all be talking about they cheating.
They cheat, conspiracy theories.
The
Stop.
Let's be honest. They do cheat, but it just doesn't affect the outcome. Because even with Deflategate, they were beating the Colts by like 40 going into the fourth quarter. So
Colts were like, well, we did catch the ball and it did feel flake. Man, it didn't help.
Yeah.
Y'all lose my 30 at that point. We come back, man. We introduce this guy. Interviewing Marques Burnett, SUV TV. Stay with us. It's The Crush.
Yeah, he is. Man, listen, if you're tired of the Patriots, baby, hey, somebody beat them. They say it's 5 degrees in Minnesota right now. Y'all know Diddy ain't throwing no pod up, though. No, ain't nobody out there like Super Bowl like in Miami, New Orleans, San Diego, LA, folk like, oh yeah, party. We're not gonna see no Snapchats. We're not gonna see no Insta nothing.
They did their second one. This is their second one in Minnesota, I think.
They doing media day tonight. Yeah. Hey, y'all go watch Tom versus Time. You'll really hate Brady.
Next year, boy. You really did. 6'8", what's up, baby?
Hey, Lou, what's going on, Lou? I feel like Blake Griffin right now.
You got traded coat.
Hey, man.
To Detroit. For who?
They did a semi-pro trade.
D. Brown.
Washing machine.
They're not cheating, D. Brown. If they cheating, if they cheating, D. Brown, I'm just saying. I don't know. What's up, Quatch? See what the young bull did to Trae Young Saturday? Got all in their pocket.
Tobias Harris, Avery Bradley, and Bowman Marjanovic.
Yeah.
And a first and second round pick.
I think as much as Trae Young has been killing, it's an image I can't get out of my head. And I was at McDonald's All-American game practice. He got hit hard on screen, nobody called out, and he sat out the rest of the practice. Ooh. Now, the practices there are more important than the game.
Right.
Practice is where the real proving ground stuff show. And I was like, man, so you sitting out the whole rest of the practice, bro? Now, he's cold, don't get me wrong, but I just feel I've never been able to get that out of my head, bro.
So he sat on the side?
Yeah, rest of the game, for the rest of the day.
Kyle Sexton got it.
Meanwhile, Sexton gave work on the pick and roll all practice.
Westbrook got 80-90 throwback. Yeah.
30 seconds.
He had Joel Embiid, but
Embiid caught him tripping. Yeah, Embiid caught him tripping.
The process got it.
20 seconds.
Should have got it the way.
Got hard.
Should have got the way.
We trying to prove that.
I'm not gonna let the process get me like that. And he gonna tweet about it.
Coming back to interview.
Hey, we're going to this question interview brought to you by ORC Software. The ORC team is committed to providing full lifecycle support for developing, testing, and delivering market-driven products. ORC's model is when a customer engages one of us, they engage all of us. Go to orc.com, ORASI.com for more information. Maceo, please introduce our guest, sir.
Listen, if one door won't open, just kick another door in and create your own lane. This is what this young fella did, man. SUV TV, that's his, by the way, everybody. Marques Burnett to the microphone. What's going on, Big Tomo?
Not much, bro. Glad to be in the presence of these media icons that I'm in.
Y'all heard him. You heard him from a guy who's creating a media icon.
It's safe to say I'm going to be covering chess now, everybody. Let's get it.
And Coach coming up here in his Run DMC suit right now. What's up, Coach?
I'm doing good.
Talk to us, Marcus. SUV TV, the concept. Tell us where it came from.
whole SUV concept was behind that sports utility vehicle messaging. And that's where different things for different groups, primarily the focus areas are broadcasting, sports marketing, and original content. So the whole goal was to be that SUV of sorts to where we focus on those three areas, providing everything we need for sports audiences.
What made you decide, looking at the industry, that let me branch off and create something myself?
Well, it started off in the industry with a platform that was more self-service. You take it and you do it yourself. And in doing that, I felt like there was a need for better quality, better storytelling, and then also from a high school sports broadcast standpoint, just upping the game overall. So really working with that self-service side of things, it showed me that somebody needed to be a resource that would really take control of the production to make things like players getting to score for college, like fan bases being able to watch, like sponsorships. A brand that would deliver the quality that made all of those things be brought to fruition. That was what an SUV was actually created.
So you started this, about 5 years ago, right?
Correct.
First game you did, and why was that the first game that you wanted to do?
The first game that we broadcasted on SUV, it was actually the Miller Grove Shot Clock League, back when Coach Sharman White was at Miller Grove.
He's a big fan of yours. He was his guy.
That's my guy, man. That's iron sharpening iron right there. But I wanted to start off with that shot clock league because I'm one of those big shot clock advocates. I feel like it prepares guys for the next level, so it was that aspect. But also, when you look at that league and the work that's being put in, it was nice to be able to showcase that. So we started off, that was the first SUV TV broadcast, that shot clock league.
How many people did you have on staff now?
On staff, it was just me and my wife at that time.
Wow.
We got to stay with this because I don't think people really understand the courage it takes to jump out there and to try to create a brand. I don't think people understand how hard we have to work in creating a brand and also rubbing shoulders against the more established labels.
Yeah, most definitely. And I feel like that's what's fun about the sports media industry. I feel like when we all grow up, it was sort of ESPN or nothing.
Right.
The sports media landscape has totally changed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're seeing smaller groups that have, not to say a more authentic voice, but if you can combine authenticity with refusing to lose, I feel like there's nothing that can stop you in today's sports media space. And groups like the Crush Sports Talk, like SUV TV, are a prime reflection of that.
I'm going to go ahead and give her some love because just to hear that story, so she had to back you from the jump, your wife.
Man, I tell you what, man, it's I hate to steal from Kevin Durant, but that's the real MVP right there. Make no mistake, man, when you have somebody that can articulate and help you bring your vision to pass and see it through the same lens that you would, it just really takes down any barrier that you might have. So, I mean, yeah, she was with me from day one, and we've really grown.
That's why she's the first lady at SUV.
First lady. I'm sure she's watching. You the first lady.
Marcus, quick question for you. What was the biggest challenge when you first got started?
Really being able to find that balance between doing everything and then being able to refine the business model and know that with time being finite and not being able to cover everything, how do you be aggressive and take advantage of that work ethic, but also make sure you're streamlining things so that you have that balance when it comes to a true business model. So for us, I've seen times where, we were broadcasting a football game down in South Georgia. We wrapped that up at 11. We drive all night to make it to North Carolina in order to broadcast a basketball game. Times like that where early on, you only have so many resources, only have so many hours. So for us, it was being able to say, okay, nobody will outwork us, but at the same time, we got to make sure nobody's outthinking us in terms of working smart and being able to adjust with that curve as it goes.
And it's funny you say that because the work smart, not hard model has to really come into play when you're doing what you're doing, trying to strategize. Okay, we need to cover this, but we also need to be there to make sure they get their coverage.
Right. You got to be able to sort of, sort of delegate. And I think what our team has allowed us to be able to make the adjustments as we've grown because they've been able to be capable people that can produce, that can see things the same way we see them, and that can allow us to scale.
How important is the quality of content?
It's very key.
I imagine if you're doing a game in South Georgia and you're going to North Carolina, there'll be some weary legs. And you got to make sure that game in North Carolina looks just as good as the game in South Georgia.
Well, I mean, for us, man, it's like when you're doing what you love to do, it stops becoming work. Now, we're still you feel the sleep, but man, dude, I get so much adrenaline when we're broadcasting an event, and I know that those that are tuned in, whether it's a college coach, whether it's a relative, or whether it's that kid going back to watch himself play after the game is concluded, as long as everything's fine with that quality, man, all's right in our world.
I want to make sure all right in our world I'm producing stuff my hand up. So, hey, man, when we come back, man, you get to hear more from this guy, Marques Burnett, SUV TV. Stay with us. It's The Crush.
That's the dopeness right there. The little studio show that y'all do. And I get pretty sort of jealous.
Why are you jealous?
Because I ain't been invited to talk.
It's too much, man.
First of all,
him and
we need to change that up. To be honest, we need to provide a full slate of programming to the Crush and SUV TV. Full slate.
You know, I don't think I want to come in there and say, Coach.
first of all, you want to talk about your sneakers for the first time. Yeah, you got a couple sneakerheads up in there. I'm like, come on, bro. You're trying to talk some hoops.
Hey, Cole, he already done people's shoes over there in Gatorade, Jordan.
Oh, yeah, the Jordan 6 the Gatorade, like.
They see.
I got it. Before I die, I'm gonna get somebody to that dude where I can get that box like DJ Khaled, that leather box, the trunk, and just deliver it.
Hey, what's going on? Georgia Hoop Circle? I got you, boy.
Yeah,
Barry. What's up, boy?
That's the encyclopedia of Georgia basketball.
I don't even know if I'm sitting
Just
right
walked in here last week.
You might have a corner.
That dude will tell you about a team in the corner of Georgia that you didn't even know existed.
I love trying. What do I do, done it? Hey, man, they gonna be good this year.
That's on play, man.
Coach, I fall out.
That's been falling.
What?
Doing the Georgia hoop
Oh,
circle.
this Barry crazy, man.
But-
Me and Mason last year, he brought them cranking up papers in here. We like, hey, man, who you got in 6?
I had them
30 seconds.
region
6'8".
You don't know. Oh yeah, man, he averaged out like good.
They tell you his average, they tell you his ACT score.
Coming back.
I had to let that ride for a little bit. You know, you always go there with me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we're back, man. You listen to the Crush interview. You listen to the Crush Sports Talk right now on SSNATL.com and also on WBLZSports.com. We're not Crushing interview brought to you by Oracy Software with our guy, Marques from SUV TV. When did you know you had to take that step? And it's like you knew that I have to do this.
Well, it's like we talk pre-production, man. Work for a company with a different model, but helped them lock a $12.5 million investment in. And then about 3 months after that investment was locked in, they laid off every regional manager except for myself. So I had already had that passion. That was a very nice stimulus to say, hey, man, it's time to get going. That transition could begin sooner than you think.
How much would that check?
Yeah, they'll do it again.
Yeah. 12.5 mil. Yeah, that's stimulus. Yeah.
And then when you kind of look at the role played in sort of helping build that company from the ground up to that point, I kind of said, you know what, the next thing I build from the ground up is going to be something that I own.
Right.
That's what's up.
Love it. Now, in this sports industry, in what you do, one of the important parts of this thing is playback. Like say you've done a game for the fans who were there to be able to go back and log on and see the work that you did? How does that make you feel?
And it's a great feeling. And then, but it wouldn't be as great of a feeling if we didn't have the personnel makeup and the people that we have, because they truly embrace the responsibility of telling the story in a way to where even if somebody was at the game, they want to go home and watch it on demand, or we'll have people pulling it up on their phones while they're at the game.
Right.
Because of your commentators like a Joel Hillsman, a Sylvester Williams, a Lewis Preston, a Barry Brown, or a Mario Mays. Those are the types of guys that take so much pride in telling the story that I think it makes a difference in on-demand viewing. And at the end of the day, we just like giving the people what they want, man, whether it's a college coach, family members, or the players themselves. And it makes a big difference to know that they go back home and watch it.
What's your philosophy? What's the first thing you want people when they tune into an SUV TV show? What do you want them to see?
Well, you touched on the quality, man. I think at the end of the day, you know, we view things sometimes from a technical standpoint, because we're always going to be our harshest critic. But at the end of the day, the viewer just wants everything to come on time. They want it to be high quality to where there's no buffering, and they also want to feel like they're there and they're not missing out on parts of the story. So as long as we're able to check those three boxes, it's key to us, because there have been instances to where if we notice something out of whack, you know, my wife and I will be to the point where we're sick to our stomachs, because we have that standard that we have to set. And I think that standard is missing in a lot of places. So for us, it's a big part of our brand culture.
And with our state, I know you cover worldwide, or could you that kind of guy. The branding of it, like you just saying, it had to be SUV perfect for you guys to put your stamp of approval on.
Yeah, for us, it's always making sure they know the difference between an SUV broadcast and the others. So we take it very personally, and then on top of that, you know, we feel like 80% of our content is in the Southeast here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And to a certain extent, we're representing Atlanta as far as the sports that we cover. And when you look at the media capital this is, the sports destination it is, I don't think we should have it any other way.
Well, let me ask you this. What sport did you see in 2018 that's going to take that next jump off? You know, we've been talking about high school basketball for a while, and finally got together to do the show that we're doing. What's that next sport that you see?
Well, you know, we all know football's king. We know basketball has grown since the way it was when I first moved down here as a former Indiana guy, and coming down here and wanting to see basketball grow. That's continued to grow, but I think lacrosse and soccer are probably the two biggest sports where you're going to see so much growth. Lacrosse, two professional teams here at it over the past 2 years, fastest growing sport in the country, and then football, as they would like to call it over there in Europe. I mean, you look at that Atlanta United season, I think it says a lot about the foundation that's laid for that sport moving forward.
Yeah, and just audience demographics. What's been the biggest ones you've been able to see and enjoy? Because by even those different sports, everybody thinks it's going to be only one demographic that hit. What's been some of the demographics you've seen attract to your SUV TV?
What's been awesome is that we've seen the demographics really vary depending on the teams that are playing, but also the specific sport. So it's been fun being able to have basketball, football, lacrosse, and other sports, because you're really kind of seeing a wide spectrum of different demographics included, depending on the sport in the area. And then what's fun for us is that we target different geographic areas around greater Atlanta. So it's never, just Gwinnett heavy or just DeKalb heavy. We try to make sure we have a mix all around the city. And, Atlanta is a big melting pot anyway. So I think sports-wise, that has also shown true.
One of the things I enjoy, especially with the basketball coverage that you do, all of a sudden it's like we can't get our state championships on TV the way we used to. So it's almost like we do need another avenue, because if just one media outlet has it, I mean, what good does that do for the fans?
Yeah, and it's like we talked about the Super Bowl. Part of why the Super Bowl was such a great event is because look at the plethora of media outlets that cover it. Like you mentioned, it's all of those different perspectives converging. And I think when you look at the state basketball championship, I understand the business side of it as far as the rights and some of the some of the behind the scenes jargon and infrastructure. But at the end of the day, I'm too much of a basketball fan and put too much pride in the product to kind of see the basketball championships not be on TV,
right? And
also to see some of the reliability issues when it comes to the stream that's available. So it's tough to grit and bear that, but I think it's going to end up changing eventually. At least I'm not going to stop until it does.
Were you surprised that coming to Georgia from Indiana and the plethora of talent in basketball, the lack of coverage that they got.
I was very surprised. I mean, it got to a point to where, and as I mentioned, when I first started, it was about continuing to refine the business model and not going solely off of passion. But there were times where, me and my wife were we would broadcast an entire event that whole day. We're talking 10 games, just because we didn't feel like there was any basketball broadcast coverage out there, and there's too many good athletes down here. So I was appalled at the lack of basketball coverage, but it's totally changed. You look at 6 McDonald's All-Americans out of Atlanta last year alone, and more coming out of it.
Amazing. Everybody, now can't even watch it in a good, stable place. Anyway, when we come back, man, I'm going to ask these guys, since we got them all in here, man, we're gonna talk about the high school coverage going on in Georgia right now. It's big. I think y'all need to really listen to, and I got to ask them who's they've enjoyed watching so far this year. Stay with us. It's the Crush.
I just say Carolina getting rained out the gym again.
Golly. All right, Roy.
I know that's right.
Russ
Hey, Roy.
Russ said this the worst defensive team. He said these kids don't stand no defense.
Not to mention, I know they ain't happy with how Duke kicking their tail in that recruiting battle.
Boy, Duke up on Notre Dame right now, 65-52.
I blame Michael Jordan.
We can't get none of them.
I blame Michael Jordan.
Hey man, Silver's roof.
That somebody hit me say ceiling is not the roof.
No, they didn't bouncing off the roof.
Man.
Somebody just chimed in and said they so proud of you and Lisa, man. Y'all keep doing your thing, man.
Appreciate that, man.
And they
Oh, Notre Dame. You got to wear the green Notre Dame.
Don't even get me started.
well, how was that a fight up there, Lou, when y'all was up there? Wearing the green?
No, there was no fight. There was no fight at all because remember we were Adidas.
Grayson Allen.
Yeah.
We were Adidas at the time, so we were strictly. We had the gold uniform. We had the blue uniform. We actually had the green uniform. We wear every once in a while. We actually tried to get a black uniform one time. Administration lost it. Love it.
That's Notre Dame, boy.
Hey. Touchdown Jesus turned his head.
Seriously.
He almost came out the thing. Hey,
Seriously. So we had the Adidas rep on campus, right?
Yeah.
So she's right. So she ordered the mock-up, right? She made a crucial error. She showed it to our guys first. Before she brought it down to us.
Not to the players.
It's over. It's over.
The players lost their mind.
They didn't play us.
Because we were playing. This is the crazy thing, though. We were playing Connecticut that Saturday on CBS, the 3:30 game.
Yeah.
Right.
What else? Travel.
So they were sitting. So they were sitting there like, we gotta rock those. Boy, we can't. They brought the uniforms down because black, green numbers, right, gold outline, names in gold with on the back with black outline around. Crazy.
Yeah, y'all about to tell
Shout out to the old big league. I missed that.
Grayson Allen out here going off.
Turn that stuff.
Coming back.
Hey, we're back, man. Crushing interview right now with our guy Marques Burnett of SUV TV. So let me ask you this, guy. Since you've been doing this for 5 years, do you get caught up in the game? Are you that professional where you don't look? Or then when you see a superstar out there balling, you're like, hey, wait a minute, dog. Because I'm sure you've seen some talent in Georgia when you've been around through.
Oh, man, we've seen some great moments, but it's always that product first. And I'm able to balance it to where I can enjoy it but still focus on it because I do not want to be at home sick that night because I was enjoying an on-site moment and we missed something or we didn't really capture it for our audience.
And how important is that in covering it, not really getting caught up in being, we have to be professional, but like you see, like the guy, and you like, oh, he did, how tough is that? Or do you have to remind, listen, you have to do it both ways now.
Right, you got to just be able to have that balance because at the end of the day, man, it's all about that bottom line. We throw blood, sweat, and tears into it. So the last thing we want to do is have a self-inflicted error on a broadcast because Colin Sexton went baseline and we couldn't focus on our job.
You missed it. The camera went down. Like, ooh, yeah.
Exactly.
I'll go ahead and ask you, over the years you've been covering, who's lit it up and where you was like, oh, man, this guy here is really killing the camera right
I say, the aforementioned Colin Sexton, just the way he scored the ball, but also just his energy as far as how he affected a venue. I wasn't here when I heard about, all of the Lou Williams atmospheres that he created. And I won't compare Colin's legacy to his because I wasn't here to experience it. But if Lou was anything like that as far as how the gym was buzzing, I wish I could have been here to experience it because Colin truly had things buzzing, man.
Wow. Do you think we have to certain high school games to me, like a college said, when you have a kid like that, you have to move the game to bigger venues?
I think bigger venues is key. I think you got to know when to do that. But I think part of the fun of basketball, and this could be the Hoosier in me, sometimes I like the Cracker Box broadcast as far as the small gym where everybody's on top of each other.
Yeah.
But I think you got to know when to balance that. If it's Pebblebrook versus Wheeler last year, like you said, that's a Cobb Civic Center move.
Right.
If it's not at Wheeler. But when it's, it's like a Creekview Sprayberry game that I mentioned last week, and it was everybody right on top of everybody, no seats in the place, that's also a good fit too.
And they're like them Cracker Box.
Everybody don't have the facilities that Buford had. A real arena action.
And not knocking those large arenas because I think they're great, but there's an element that's always going to be missing when you can have 2,000 in a place and it still doesn't feel like every seat is taken there on top of you. So it's kind of like being able to, it's pros and cons to every venue. So I can appreciate the big, robust venues, but I can also appreciate that atmosphere where the stands are guarding you.
So with that being said, Marcus, what's the most intimate venue that you've been in the state of Georgia so far, to where you walked in there, you walked out of there like, wow?
The most intimate one was probably Covenant Christian out there in Marietta. There's literally a thin ring around the court. You can commentate. Order a set of wings from the concession stand, dap the player up after he just made a play, and help the score clock with his job, and be able to do it without moving. But it was some great games played there. I'm trying to think of some other smaller venues where he had some games.
Hey, look, he got 5-5.
Yeah. Ball that way.
Yeah.
Ball that way.
Right, exactly.
Arrow.
Can you do that? So let me ask you this: How much time do you like to give yourself in advance? Because you have to look at every venue and be like, that's gonna be tight in that corner over there.
Oh yeah, we go and we do site walkthroughs everywhere, even if we overdo it. We would much rather be bored or feel like we wasted a trip than the other way around. And you always got to prepare for the broadcast and curveball. So we overdo it on site walkthroughs and preparation.
What goes into deciding which games you will cover?
Combination of things. So we look for intriguing matchups. Whether it's a region matchup, rivalry game, or just a good game on paper. But then we also try to find games where we feel like one or both teams are a little underserved to use a little bit more coverage. So it's a combination of the standings. Obviously, we want to have good matchups, but we also want to provide enough of a variation to where we're not just riding the wave of popular players and teams.
I'd go ahead and say it because they don't like me anyway. But how did you get Georgia High School Association to allow you to cover them?
Well, for the regular season, schools are essentially, sovereign as far as that. They can make their own decisions.
Okay.
Playoffs wise, that's a different story. But as far as the regular season,
it's up to the school.
Right, schools can make their decision. Yep.
Well, once they get involved. And we come back, man. We're gonna talk about this 2017-18 season. Since we got Lewis, who's on the broadcast at SUV TV, we're gonna ask you guys, who's impressed y'all so far? It's a kid down there in Langston Hughes who's showing up sound now, boy.
Mr. Knowledge.
So we'll talk about that when we get back. Stay with us, to Crush.
He was 38. He ain't made McDonald's All-American.
Yeah,
I can't believe it, man.
What?
And my thing is, I knew EJ was going to make it because I know Wheeler has the schedule and they got the politics side too. And EJ's having a good season, but I wasn't expecting Reggie Perry because the whole knock on Nolly has been, well, he don't play nobody, he don't play nobody. He don't play Reggie Perry.
Perry with who?
He's with Thomasville, and they I think their toughest game is Berrien County. Now I'm not knocking Perry because I think Perry deserves it too, so I don't do the whole I'll take that kid off with him. But I mean, I'm sorry, man. Does Nolly have to put up 7? He got to put up 7.
He averaged about 7.
He's the only one on his team, man. He's the only guy on his team, bro. And then one of the State not playing where he went up in Chicago in that public league, probably the most physical league in the country, and won state up there too. I mean, what else the brother got to do, man?
Put up 50 games. He did that. He put up 50.
Man, he had back-to-back 51 and 40. Back-to-back nights.
That's right.
His dad will score like that.
Really?
Not he can't score. He can score in a variety of ways that Atlanta does now. But he wasn't scared to shoot.
That game is so smooth, man.
All three levels, man. It's gonna translate so well.
Oh man. Virginia Tech stole that. Good
Boy.
Baltimore.
Buzz, man.
Buzz when he got that boy. I don't know how Buzz did that, man.
Come on, Bulldog.
And it was crazy, man. I know that was tough for Rick, boy. They thought they had him.
Come on,
Not
Bulldog.
even 24 hours later, boy.
Who was that? Rick Moore?
No, Nolly went committed to Georgia on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
And about 12 hours later.
He was at Valtech.
Look, Georgia Tech cannot score
30
after
seconds.
halftime.
It's about adjustments, bro.
Man, they should have put Sean on staff.
Yeah.
Put him on staff.
Boy.
20 seconds.
Hey, hey, Moore. He done that to him twice. He did it to him in Memphis, too.
Coming back.
Excuses he made after coach got in.
Huh?
His excuses he made.
2.8 million.
Come on, coach.
Hey, we back, man. Still doing our crushing interview right now. We were talking before we left about the 2017-18 season. You guys covered the Hawks Native Classic. You've been around. You've covered a lot of basketball. You even got the chance to see the McKeachin women. Even though North Cobb, y'all gave them a good run, North Cobb. Shout out to our people out there in North Cobb. But Jess, who's been the most impressive team y'all seen so far? I'll start with you, Coach Lou.
Wow. Saturday night was an eye-opener for me.
McKeachin.
Yeah, and I got to give prop to Joel Hilsman, and it pains me to do this. It pains me because he been talking trash to me from the beginning. From the beginning.
Joe know it now.
Yeah.
Joel, I mean, I think Joel put his soul on the line. From McKeachin. That's the reason why we call him Mr. McKeachin.
Yeah.
I got him a varsity Letterman jacket. Hillsman on the front, Mr. McKeachin on the back.
With big Indian on the back.
But I will say this. First of all, Coach Thompson was very gracious to sit with us post game, and I went at him strictly from a coaching perspective, talking about how you gonna deal with chemistry, because they are literally 14 deep.
Wow.
And there's 7 guys that can score 20 on any given night, and then the 8, 9, and 10 could get you 15. And so I keep saying it's one ball and how you make it happen. And seeing it up close, it was Sharif Cooper. He is the strongest. He's the strongest Thursday drink.
Listen, watching him as a 9th grader last year at the Wheeler tournament, I just kept saying, listen, y'all are joking. This kid is not in the 9th grade. I mean, he don't get rattled. So I can only imagine how much better his game got. Has he grown in it?
I mean, his hair.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. His glaze, true floor general. True floor general.
When you got one of those, boy, it's
Oh
hard to
my
beat.
God.
Would you agree?
Definitely, man. I mean, they're just top to bottom. They're so impressive. And then, you look at Isaac Okoro, who's able to play off of Cooper.
He came back? I thought he was senior last year.
Oh, he's back. He'll be back for another 2 years. Cooper has gotten a little bit bigger. He continuing to grow. Okoro has definitely been put in the weight room to use. So you're talking that they're gonna have at least 2 McDonald's All-Americans on that team next year, minimum.
I say it right now. They are a college-looking team in high school, and I gave a shout out during the broadcast to the strength and conditioning coach. That's who I want to meet, because they got college-ready bodies.
Well, they're not lacking for facilities
exactly.
up there at McKeachin.
And like we said before, like you said, Mike, they got a 4-time champion in women too.
Yeah.
Back to back to back to back.
And then 5 in the last 6.
And that sort of helps fuel the hunger for that program, because when you look at Coach Thompson, he's always been happy for the girls program, but you want to make sure you're living up to that bar as well. So,
I need to win one.
Hey, so now it's like
Ty's seeing they banners.
I need to win one.
All right, we thought team player that you've seen this year.
A few players jump out. You mentioned McKeachin. I say a player that I think people are sleeping on a little bit. Man, Kyle Sturdivant from Norcross.
Heard about Sturdivant.
he is such a good point guard, and a lot of it is because he takes what the defense gives him and he gets you off of basic. If you don't stop the ball, I'll dribble it with my left hand all the way up the court and finish with either hand. So it's not very flashy, but he's making plays there for Norcross. He's been very impressive. And then Brandon Boston, young sophomore, can shoot the lights out. I mean, he's one of the best players in the state.
So this all in Georgia?
Yeah.
Just in Georgia.
Okay, time out. See, now that's why I'm going to get mad. Because when I cover Georgia Tech on a weekly basis, and I'm sitting here like, why don't we have any scoring?
Yeah.
All of these kids, why don't we have any scoring? And I look at the roster like, where are the Georgia kids?
Yeah.
And it's so many good Georgia players.
Right. And even to piggyback off that, I think this is where I think Ron Hunter and his staff have done a phenomenal job because they have the most Georgia kids on the roster. I think if mine serves correctly in the state.
They do.
And you got, DeMarcus Simons this year. I mean, he was just named the Sun Belt Player of the Week today. I mean, averaging just this past week, 25, 6 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 4 steals.
What school he come from?
Gainesville.
That's right.
And what's even amazing, and you talk about more players, like I was really impressed with the KJ Buffin, the young man up at Gainesville. I think he's got a chance. Ashton Hagens at Newton. I mean, phenomenal. He's going to Georgia. Elias King from Shiloh. I mean, sometimes he's up and down, but for the most part, we already talked about Landers knowledge.
He want to go play with Okogie? He want to go play with homeboy?
That's
okay. My bad.
First of all,
I'm sorry, Coach. I'm sorry.
I mean, I got to give Tavares Hardy credit. Georgia Tech was in the gym Saturday night.
So they showed up.
Game. Yeah, they showed up. There's another kid had a chance the week before to go see. I'm a huge Ty Fagan fan now at Upson Lee.
Right.
And the reason why was because when we interviewed him postgame, kid had 31 points. They won by 33. I mean, they ran him out, Mary Person out of the gym. And I asked him this question. It's the first time I ever heard a high school kid answer this way. He said, what did you work on between your junior and senior year? He said, I worked on my dribbling and ball handling, but coach, I worked on my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
He caught me so off guard with that. Like very rarely am I stuck for 15 seconds. And he explained what he did because he's like, this is for the culture here. This is for the next wave of young men and women to come through here. So that really stuck out to me. So Middle Tennessee State is where he's going.
Wow.
KJ Buffin, Middle Tennessee State. So just a couple things right there.
Great two piece.
I'm still mad that Georgia let 3 guys walk out of here last year. Duke, Alabama, and Florida State.
But the worst part about 2 of them are lottery picks.
When we come in, man, we'll do a rundown. I see how your time going, man. You good for time?
I'm good, fellas.
Hey, man, let's talk in the rundown. We're going to run through some stories, so y'all stay with us. It's the Crush. Somebody close the border.
Tech hard to watch, man. They hard to watch.
This is the one excuse. Because I actually asked him during the Virginia game, because I said, death by 1,000 paper cuts with Virginia. So I asked him straight up. I was like, what was your adjustments? I always love asking coaches, what are your adjustments? Ron Hunter had the greatest one Thursday night. Because every time DeMarcus Simons was using a ball screen, they were keeping him on the side. Mm. So they were like, I said, what was your adjustment? Because he went from shooting 34% to 50% in the second half. So I got rid of the ball screen. Right? And he was like, gave his assistant coach who was the scout on that game, credit for it. Because they really were holding Georgia State in place. As soon as he took that ball screen out, they played all downhill, man. It was beautiful to watch. Beautiful. He should be at one of them schools, man. Just gonna say what I'm gonna say. Just leave it at that.
Middle Tennessee State. I get the
I'm telling you.
Sometimes though, you gotta go against the grain because you gotta wake some of these fools up.
Mm-hmm. Your boy made the. I mean, and it's so crazy. Now that ACC play, them them press rooms done got real full. And boy, they be shooting away. Like, well, I told you guys when the season started that hey, gotta have to this. Folks look like this other night.
But this is what I go back to. He talked about Notre Dame. He talked about forget who else he talked about getting old and staying old. That was always, when we all first got to Notre Dame, Mike was much more into, go get me a transfer, and I'll take one freshman, and then we got to build these other guys up. And you look at Notre Dame, they always stayed old.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But you only use that excuse for so long.
The Crush Rundown is brought to you by Phoenix Senior Living. When it comes to your loved one, everything matters, and it matters to us. Go to PhoenixSRLiving.com to find out more on how Phoenix Senior Living can provide personalized and compassionate services for your seniors. We're going to this Crush Rundown. We got our guys with us, going to stay with us. We're going to go through some of these stories that just didn't make the main stage. So we're going to go ahead with it. And go ahead and say what you want to start out with.
So my first story, and this is a good one. Blake Griffin. He was just as shocked as everybody. If you go to his Twitter,
he still Twitter.
He put up a Will Smith meme with like eyes buck wide open, like, "Hey, that really happened."
Yeah.
Blake Griffin is going from sunny LA to snowy Motor City. Wow.
Give us your thoughts, guys.
You don't want my thoughts.
It's like it's a fire sale.
No. This is the one thing about the league that people on the outside, because they get wrapped up in the money, right? The presentation they did for him this past offseason, and they actually told him, you were going to be a Clipper for life, right? Yeah, I was part of the whole sale.
Right.
And then, I found out, you just got traded to Detroit. So y'all, I mean, let's start. This is a business. It's not about loyalty.
Let's look at it from a different point, guys. Drummond, Griffin together. Mm-hmm. It probably won't do much in the East because size that ain't what it used to be. When you had 2 7-footers, it used to be good back in the day. Now it's like, well, y'all gonna be in the way. But your thoughts, make sure you brought it up. What's your thought, Marques, about this trade?
I don't like it just because, I mean, I'm not in the war room like the GMs are, but I actually just started enjoying watching Blake Griffin play because I've seen him play since Chris Paul left with an edge that I hadn't really seen previously. Now, I'm not seeing the same Blake Griffin that Zebo kind of flipped over with one arm in the playoffs a couple years ago. I'm seeing a guy that kind of plays with a little bit of an edge, says, best of luck to you in Houston, CP3. I'll be the leader here, and let's go. It is what it is. And so for him to be traded away, I don't get the rationale of the Clippers. What are you rebuilding around or rebuilding to? But yes, it is what it is, man.
And I guess that's the question with the Clippers is it just, is Doc done? I mean, Doc don't want to coach no young boys.
I think it's a sign that his days are numbered, me personally. But
is his son going with him?
Well, that's all a matter of opinion. But I think the most interesting thing there is, from a business standpoint, you start talking about the luxury tax and all this, and start building for the future. Now they got 3 players and a first round and a second round draft pick out of that over the course of next year and the next couple of years. So from that standpoint, you start looking at draft picks. We see what Boston's done, holding on to draft picks and how they've built the roster. So maybe there's a method to the madness there. One of the things I can always say, anywhere where Jerry West is involved, and he's a senior consultant, there's some moves that are going to be made.
Right. They're going to, 5 cents.
5 cents.
Yes, sir. Without doubt.
Young guy comes in, cleans up everything. Yeah. This guy is just persistent. Even after the Royal Rumble, he still want to coach. He want a football league. Vince McMahon says he will bring back the XFL in 2020. 8 teams, 40-man roster, 10-game season, 4 team semifinals, and 1 championship game. He hate me. Will he be back? Nah, he's an old guy right now, so he won't be back. I just listening to the XFL. Vince is determined to create this new product. He don't want a team in the NFL. He want his own thing. I guess when you're a boss for something so long, you don't want to be a part of that. You want to own your own thing.
You got money burning a hole in your pocket.
That's what it is. It's like, my kid's rich, my grandkid's rich. I just got all this money. I'm 73. I can't take it with me.
I'm printing money.
Give me a league for a league. Any thoughts on it, Mace?
Maybe he learned something from the first time. And he sees there's a lane. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, me personally, I think I just put my money back on top of that.
When did they make the movie The Replacement?
Right. Yeah.
I think it's just, I also think sometimes when you a guy like him who's been successful with one brand, when you fail at something, it eats at you.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And he's sitting there like,
Super ultra competitive.
I'm not letting this happen, man. I got to do something before I leave. I can't have this XFL hanging on my coffin.
Well, I mean, same thing with Nick Saban with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
No matter how many championships he wins, think about it. He's always
They're stuck in his crawl a little bit.
Yeah, that and the doctor that wouldn't give Drew Brees to go ahead. We'll leave that alone though, Coach Saban. Don't land a helicopter in my yard.
Right there on top of that roof right here. I heard you, Lou. What you got, Mace?
This story for Coach. His guy, Joakim Noah, seems like he's, they're ready to run him out of New York City. Word on the street, he got into a shouting match with Jeff Hornacek. Now they looking to blow him out, Coach. They want to just wash their hands with him, Coach.
How you gonna get rid of 19.75, 20.25, and I think it's 21.25 the next year?
Yeah. Coach, hey, they say
he hasn't played that many games.
Hey, they say it's somebody for everybody, Coach.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's sucker ball every minute now.
Well, I will say this: one of the most energetic and passionate players I've ever been around.
Right.
But one of the two things about him, you're gonna get every day. You're gonna get an honest day's work, and he loves to compete to win.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't bring either one of those to the table, because you go back his rookie year, he got suspended by the Bulls. We call him the Bulls out because he called out Luol Deng and Ben Gordon.
Right.
As a rookie.
Right.
So it hadn't that fire and that passion hasn't changed, no matter how many dollar figures, because he was a multi-millionaire before that.
Right.
Wow.
Just saying.
Let me ask you this, Marcus. You seem like a basketball guy. Your thoughts on a team trading, like getting rid of Jason Kidd with Milwaukee?
I really wasn't expecting Jason Kidd for them to get rid of him. I think that what made them go and pursue him like they did away from the Knicks.
I mean, they went and got that dude.
Yes,
man.
it was so you wouldn't think that they would ditch the process at this point, but you just never know what's going on behind the scenes. I try to have my initial reaction, but then realize that it's kind of like a process, so you're really not going to be able to weigh the fruit until you let it play out a little bit.
Yep.
Just like you talked about with Blake Griffin and letting that contract go, getting those picks. Like with the Hawks, maybe not paying a Millsap what he might have wanted to be paid, even if you're going to take some on the chin for this year, but kind of trying to play chess with it and setting yourself up moving forward. So it's kind of tough. Everything's about knee-jerk reactions these days, but I was very surprised.
I've seen some. You see these guys when they cut a coach like this, and then they come out of GM next day. Well, we ready to do this. Do you feel like sometimes GMs smell themselves a little too much? Then they get in there and Jason's running the program. Like, wait a minute.
I saw that with the GM for the Detroit Lions when they got rid of Jim Caldwell.
Yeah.
He was up there at the podium feeling himself and saying all the right things about a family man, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, did you put enough personnel around him for the opportunity to be successful? But you gave that guy $135 million, right?
Well, what's funny about the Milwaukee situation, because you're hearing that, of course, they got a new arena coming, and, to me, I'm sitting here like, okay, well, who you going to hire?
Tony Bennett.
Coach.
He's from Wisconsin now.
Tony Bennett.
I'll give you another name. Come out of the college ranks. Chris Collins in Northwestern.
Don't say LT's coach.
What?
They love Chris Collins. Man.
Dads do.
They love his dad. Hey, we come back, man. We're going to run into the second hour. Y'all stay with us for a quick second. We'll be right back.
Dads do.
Because you heard how Giannis was like, he shot him a text, kind of like, coach is messed up and this and that. And the kid kind of went and put it out there. And Giannis kind of like,
Marlon
I didn't think he was going to put it out there.
Yeah, we did some time.
Marlon said Jason Kidd couldn't figure out the rotation and the lineups.
The Crush second hour being brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Go to Cricket Wireless to find out. CricketWireless.com to find out all the great specials they got going on now. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about. You're in the second hour of the Crush. Streaming live on the Sensation Station Network and also on WBLZSports.com. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Cricket Wireless out there in LaGrange for having us. Shout out to Tyrone Poole. for being gracious and all the people that came out and Maceo gave his acceptance speech this weekend.
Okay.
Had the trophy in his hand. Right now in the Crush Rundown being brought to you by Phoenix Senior Living. Go to phoenixsrliving.com to find out more on how your seniors will be treated right. Quick story that I wanted to, I bet I lose it. I always say sometimes these shock jock radio guys, and this is why I really put myself in what me and Maceo do in life, because we really don't want to go to these levels, and that's why all y'all that keep listening to the same radio stations, and especially in Atlanta, and I'm not afraid to call out anybody, y'all keep going to the same well when y'all keep going to these people who keep talking about people's kids. Well, this show called in WEEI in Boston, I guess it's called the Kirk and Callahan Show, mentioned Tom Brady's daughter on another interview on another station and called her an annoying little pissant, which prompted Tom today when he came on to do his regular show to say, "I'm good, folks. You talked about my kid. She's 5. Y'all can kiss my tail. I'll holler at you. I may come on later." I don't understand why, and this is when everybody get comfortable in this radio thing, because now we're getting personal. And if nobody's coming in your room and talking to you about your family, I don't care how mad you don't like Brady, you take it too far, Maceo. This is what happened to you. And you get somebody like, and I'm going to do like Suge Knight told everybody in New York, come to the Crush Sports Talk, Tom. We got you.
I mean, without a doubt, but it's that entitlement.
Entitlement. That's a great word.
The fact that you got a regular segment with Tom Brady should be just enough.
You should be happy.
You should be. So, like I say, again, I'm telling y'all, watch this show, that Tom versus Time. This guy, for these guys who always talk about, I don't listen to, they hear everything.
Everything Tom says.
And you got to think, with these devices, it come right to him.
Yeah.
His name, if he just happened to go on Twitter and now his name trending, well, let me click on and it's 20 different links to what this dude called what he call his daughter?
An annoying little pissant.
and the little girl, I mean, she hugs her daddy a couple of times. Like, clearly this dude don't have a 5-year-old. He's never had a 5-year-old daughter.
And then just, Marques, we talk about content. You're putting your good stuff out there. And I just get there. And like I said, in Atlanta, we got people who are retreads, who've done some horrible things. They keep getting their name put out there on the radio. It just has to make sure that things like SUV TV and The Crush, we got to keep doing our thing, because one day y'all going to stop listening to this crap. But
yeah.
Credibility is key, man. And credibility is really more important than views.
Yeah.
Right.
Going after views and clickbait and always trying to just say whatever, it's just for me, it's that yellow content that I think just kind of you see all over the internet these days. And I'll miss out on views before I sacrifice credibility to do so.
Without a doubt.
And Lou, you see Tom still crying about being a 6th-round pick from 20 years ago.
He's
sensitive, dude. He ain't let stuff go.
Has Tom seen that combine footage?
Oh, he talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, we love what he turned out to be, but I mean,
Tom,
bro, you just had a brew before you came to the combine, bro.
I listened to a little bit of it today, and I think one of the most impressive things about him is still his approach to film. 18 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Like, he talked about it, like, the great ones really are obsessed.
Oh, yeah.
Like Jordan, like, to bring the high school coach to cut it.
Yeah.
Right? To bring him to the Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah.
Right? Those guys never forget. They have memories like elephants. And the thing about that is, it's the fuel. Because it's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's not about the prestige. It's when it's all said and done, they want to know that the tank is empty.
And it's funny that you said that in this special. The one film he keeps going back and pull up is the Super Bowl they lost to the Giants and had Randy Moss.
He probably wiped that number down.
And he was sitting there like he goes exactly to the plate. Look why I missed Randy Moss. Randy Moss, and he stopped the clip. Randy Moss open. I didn't hit it. I lost us this game.
They don't want 5.
and I think people don't understand that, because I mean, this what drives these guys. When you talk about the greats, we talk about becoming legendary. This is how they do it. They again, in the course of a day, he's shooting a video. He's shooting. They bringing Maseratis to his house. but the dude is in his backyard going to work out with full equipment on. He work out with a helmet and shoulder pads.
I always thought back when they showed Jordan when he came back when the original. I got you. When I'm closing out. When we brought in the 45, and all they showed that summer was him in the gym. Yeah. Not the shooting gym. In the weight room.
Told Penny, oh, I'm gonna get you back. Y'all won't win nothing, Orlando.
So you know what's coming up now? Really? We already got into some of it really, but we got some more coming up. So y'all stay with us. It's the Crush.
Oh, okay, my fault.
See, I'm wrapping up.
He go back to that play.
Peripheral. I can see.
He pull up. He got in his office. He got all these like files. Like he got them by years. And he was like, oh, what was that? 2007. Pull it out. He like, look at this play. This play. Randy Moss. He stopped it. Randy Moss open. I miss it. So this play still haunts me.
One of the most interesting things when I was at Florida, the most impressive thing about Coach Donovan was his pregame and postgame notes. And he kept them for every game, every team, every year. So in his office, he's got a desk and he's got these two big mahogany, just like files, and he just opened them up. And he's like, let's go back to 2002. Let's go back to 2002, Georgia, Florida. Pull it out and just look at the notes. And he'll sit there, the card. Then he'll have what I'll run next time. What did they do that we didn't expect? Like just incredibly obsessive.
How often do you go back and watch your film?
30 seconds.
Like we did that night. I'm going back and I'm watching it that night.
20
I'm on time,
seconds.
get back to the hotel, watching it.
How hard are you?
Very hard. If when it come out of the replay, we need to make sure it's yeah.
Coming back to room.
That's T. She probably like, he was getting on my nerves.
Boy, really, 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 really. Hey, man, some of y'all out there, we had to just question some of the things that y'all got there. Make sure you can start it off, man.
Really, NBA? So, on top of these guys getting voted into All-Star and making the ridiculous amount of money that most of them make, you gonna give them $100,000 to play even harder for the All-Star game?
Really trying to set us All-Star game.
Really, NBA? I mean, listen, the All-Star game is what it is with these guys today. Up and down the floor, who can score 200?
Yeah.
You gonna give them 100 racks?
100 racks to make them play hard.
Really, NBA?
I would make a comment. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Really, NBA?
Well, you know I'm going the other spectrum. Really, NFL? I'm watching the game. I just happen to be watching it. I'm like, all right, man, I never watched the Pro Bowl because I'm a journalist now. So let me watch. Man, when they went through and one of the Le'Veon Bell skipped 18 times before somebody grabbed him. I'm like, what? They don't even bring him down no more? Y'all don't even bring him down. You just hold the guy. You hold him, and the referee blow the whistle.
You know he injury prone, man.
And you pay. And here's the thing: winner gets 64,000, loser get 36. Really, NFL. At least put flags on. Just put flags on.
Just make it an All-Star week.
Make it all 7-on-7. Call it what you want.
That's it. That's it.
Don't waste time. Don't. How do you say? Don't insult my intelligence.
Right. Right.
Don't insult my intelligence. What you got, Mace?
Really, Terrell Owens. I said on this show about 2 weeks ago, T.O., if you really want to go in the Hall of Fame, listen, get your passport, go disappear. I'm doing research for the show today. Guess what I see? Terrell Owens in an interview bashing Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
This is not how you get into the Hall of Fame, T.O. Shut up!
McNabb got his own problems right now.
Right! Why you want to continue to dump on the man?
Don't dump on the man right now.
T.O., guess what the voters, when the voters scrolled by there and saw the day, guess what they did? We're going to put Randy Moss in. Really, T.O.?
You're going to be really mad.
I'll get sick of T.O.
Really, Cleveland, in the famous words of the late Rodney King, can y'all all just get along? Kevin Love, He throwing towels in people's faces. He handing the ball to Isaiah differently. Kevin, I know the pressure on you, brother. I know they always on you in the locker room. You the guy. And when they lose, they say Kevin fault. Kevin, like I can't play 5 positions. Kevin, we know what happened. In Minnesota, you the only one that can score. And then when you got on a good team, you got exposed. We understand. It ain't your fault, Kevin. They paid you $20 million. It ain't your fault. Take the cash, Kevin. And when you get traded, don't say nothing. But anyway, Cleveland, can y'all just get along, man? What you got, Max?
I'm gonna go the other way. Really, Isaiah Thomas. Dude, who do you think you are?
You be played no.
Dude, you just got back. Dude, you 5. What? Just pick a number.
It's real.
Really, Isaiah, who told you? Listen, this is LeBron's locker room. This is Lebanon James' locker room.
Lebanon.
This is Lebanon locker room. Why are you talking? Really, Isaiah?
You want to know the problem I have with that?
What's the problem?
Him and Kevin Love known each other since kindergarten.
Right!
They boys.
They partners!
That's the power. That's the power, LBJ.
Yeah.
Right there.
LeBron make you change teams. Make you hate your friend.
But Isaiah, listen, shut up! You ain't did nothing!
Just play ball, man.
Shout so.
And hey LeVar, hey man, hey.
I scratched him out my really. I'm tired of LeVar.
I can't. First of all, not LeVar, really Lithuania. Y'all just gonna give him the lead? Y'all just say, here, LeVar, do what you want to with the league. We're gonna make you a coach. He said he ain't never lost. Really? I saw Zion Williamson kill y'all one time. But anyway.
You can have the league for 10 big baller brand shoes.
I blame Lithuania. I don't even blame LeVar. Really Lithuania. The whole country.
Come on, Lebanon, James. Get your locker room and order Lebanon.
It's all. I mean, I see him.
Lebanon ain't even talking.
I see him got a suit on. And what kind of defense y'all play with that little 8-year-old put triple double? Y'all know what that Lithuania.
Mellow and Jello.
Melo 18 or 16 or 15. Which one is he, Mark?
15.
I'm
He's
not
16.
sure.
Y'all letting him get a triple double. And ain't nobody was looking for Jello. That's how you say that?
Jello say you ready for the league. Really, Jello?
Which league? The European League? The African League? The Z League? We might have a Z League for you over here.
Jello.
Jello is that guy.
Jello.
Y'all better quit. Big baller brand.
UCLA don't miss you.
But Lithuania, y'all did do something I ain't never seen. Y'all got LeVar in a suit. And
He probably had flip-flops on.
he probably did. He had a BBB flip-flops on.
Yeah.
And we gone before we all get cut off. We'll be right back.
I ain't that bad.
That's a good one right there.
Yeah, that.
For the ball.
All right, guys, before we go into your segment, I want to ask y'all about Michigan State. Let's talk about Michigan
Oh my
State.
gosh.
Open that door real quick, man.
Hey, man.
No, it's not.
And then Isaiah Thomas, who Isaiah Thomas think he is?
I don't know
Huh?
who think he is, bro.
He just coming in running the thing.
No, you just went to the All-Star game last year.
Bruh.
Now, that team was designed for you to score
Yeah.
29 points a game.
Volume shooters. Okay.
That ain't going on. That ain't what they bought you to click.
Kevin Love like, who? What I do?
This is why I kept trying to tell everybody. And somebody told me, well, it's really an even swap Kyrie for Isaiah.
No, it's not. I
What?
can't believe people saying that. What?
Y'all do know Kyrie about 6'4".
Y'all know Kyrie sitting over in Boston laughing and chilling right now.
Yeah, he say, I told y'all.
Him and Brad Stevens like that.
He having dinner with Taisha right now, eating clam chowder.
Cloud chowder. Hey, somebody had nerve to say, hey man, hey, it's an even trade. Where?
Even not right.
I just go back to this right now. LeBron's like, I got them 2 houses in LA.
Hey man, I can go anywhere.
I'm good.
Everybody trying to get out of there. Dan Gilbert trying to sell the team.
Hey, give us a second. I'm done.
Hey, look,
Y'all had
I'm
it.
first. I'm out.
Hey, I'm out.
LeBron, you want to buy LeBron? LeBron, you can buy it.
He did right here, bro.
You the GM coach anyway.
When I see Dan Gilbert, I'm like, oh, it's over.
But the thing is, Dan Gilbert, LeBron, these the guys you want? Okay, I got some. Who else you want?
They start
You want D Wade?
crowd up
Okay.
there.
And you know how bad he been bending Dan Gilbert over.
Yeah.
They pay the highest luxury tax in the world.
Right.
And it ain't even close.
Ron
Like,
came.
he the only dude winning a championship not smiling like.
For real.
Oh, his picture was like this. Here, y'all take the damn trophy. It was expensive.
Hey man,
30 seconds.
I see a clown, man. What is he doing, man?
Too much.
What is he doing? Foul LeBron.
20 seconds.
I just locked the locker room because nobody come in. Just JR, because JR just a good time. You know he playing like trash.
Yeah,
JR,
you know what I'm
JR,
saying?
take your shirt off. Let's go hang out. Take your shirt.
Coming back to the job.
So he gonna let JR in. Come on,
Walk
JR.
around with your shirt off. We're gonna talk Michigan State.
And we're back, man. We're going to jump into this subject because we know you guys cover college basketball. Lou, you being in the college basketball arena. And just college sports, man, make sure we talk about it as well. And this is, usually what we deem in college. For those who don't know, I think his first name was Larry Nassar. He got 175 years, 40 to 175. The judge said she signed his death warrant. And because of decades upon decades of molestation, raping and young women, and not only in USA gymnastics, but also in Michigan State. Well, the fallout of Michigan State's about to be heavy. We've already seen the president resign and the athletic director, which everybody's got looking at, and we're hearing it from the crates about two legends on the campus right now, Antonio and Izzo, and what's going to happen to them. And gentlemen, I want to just talk to you. I thought by now somebody would have, they trying to fight. And Izzo was saying that they need to be part of the solution. And Antonio said, I'm going nowhere. I don't, and y'all correct me, and we'll start left to right, and we'll start with you, Coach Lou. I can't see both of them surviving this. Or maybe I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong.
I don't see. D'Antonio will probably be the sacrificial lamb when it's all said and done, because Izzo's been there for over 3 decades as an assistant and as a head coach.
Tenured.
Yeah, but with all that being said, I thought the most interesting comment came out about 6 o'clock today when it came from Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson said anybody who knew about this wrongdoing should be fired. Now, he's probably your most well-known alum.
Yes.
Probably on the board of visitors, the board of trustees, and he's given multiple millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So for him to come out and say that, I think that was really eye-opening. I wasn't around for Penn State. I actually left to come down here to become a head coach 6 months before all that stuff went down. And I always go back to this. From an NCAA rule standpoint, if everything was done the way it should have been done, there's not an issue. There is a moral, ethical judgment as a leader. That's a problem there. But just reading some of the accounts that have come out, just mind-boggling to me. Because, I mean, in that community, and that's a college town, there's no way you don't, to me, there's no way you don't know about that stuff.
Which brings me to my next show. Former Hawks first rounder, Adrian Payne, was on that squad, the Michigan State squad, which brings me to Izzo. I mean, just hearing his story.
Yeah.
And Coach don't know nothing about this?
Right.
I mean, your thoughts, man.
We've seen it. We've seen it at Penn State. We saw it at Baylor. We saw it at Louisville.
Right.
You can't use that excuse. Because, again, as parents, when we turn our kids over to college coaches, coaches are supposed to be that parental extension. And we're not sending our kids off to do heinous things without any accountability.
Right.
You know, unlike the past, it's a thing called Title IX now. Everything has to be reported. Everything has to be. So for these guys to, again, say, look, I don't know, I didn't. Come on. You got Emirates saying that in 2010, he heard about it.
Right.
So and like you just said, Cody, Lansing is not that big of a spot. East Lansing is not that big.
Can I add something to this? When I was an assistant coach, Florida, Penn State, Notre Dame, when I became a head coach at Kennesaw State, I always had public safety, law enforcement. I would have a lawyer come in or somebody and to always talk about our team about three things. Because there's three things that when it happened, and I recruited, and I sat in your living room, and I promised your parents I'd take care of you.
Right.
Right? And it was just sitting a 4-year deal, so 40 to 50-year deal.
Right.
You got caught with drugs, a DUI, or a sexual assault. I'm no different than a man off the street coming in and just looking at you as you getting booked or whatever. So I was always very sensitive to that issue, especially on an environment like on Kennesaw State's campus. It was 64 to 36% women to men on that campus. So 6 out of every 10 women were women walking on that campus. I was always conscious of that. And plus I have 2 teenage daughters.
Right.
You know, so with all that being said, the fact that this was brought to Emmett's attention, nothing was done, and then he made sure he made an example out of Penn State because it kind of gave him his chops when he became the head of the NCAA. I mean, I think there's a lot of cleaning up that needs to, and I've talked to a lot of people that have been involved in college athletics for a long time. There's a lot of cleaning up because there's a lot of things that have been sacrificed for the sake of making millions of dollars.
Right. Which goes to what I want to ask you, Marques. I think it has to be a cleanup at the NCAA. Emmett's been around chopping his money too much right now. He's talking about, I heard about this in 10. Oh, I cleaned Penn State up. But how many up Baylor under your thing? Penn State. Now we got Michigan State. And what are you doing? What are you putting in place? You always reaction with NCAA. It's money first, safety second.
Right.
Your thoughts on this? I think it got to be a clean house. You did it at Penn State. You got to do the same thing at Michigan State. Probably the NCAA as well.
I think it has to be. I mean, there's no gray area with what we're talking about.
No,
You know, this isn't something. There's no benefit of the doubt to be given with people seeing things that should make you want to say, you know, hey, let's look into this or be able to call it out. And I mean, let's call it out for what it is. It didn't hit the fan yet. They wanted to keep it under wraps. They didn't want to deal with the messiness that is involved with calling it out and dealing with it then. They just swept it under the rug, and now that there's a big pile under there, you got to be able to deal with the implications. So I think there should definitely be anybody that had knowledge of it, they should be gone, or else you're sacrificing the total integrity of everything.
And what bothers me sometimes now, like you said, I don't know if you got any children. No, but we got 6 daughters among us. And to see guys become first-round draft choices after they've done something. And you just sit there like, you just going to discard my daughter. And you're going to go make your money. And you played for 4 or 5 years. And I'm still talking about pain because he sticks in my head because he was a Hawks draft pick. I think 16, 17. Nobody feels like Izzo is sitting there like, hey, man, it don't feel right that you about to go get paid. I mean, is it just...
Actually, if you've looked at him the last 48 hours, when he's done 2 post-game interviews, I don't think he slept a wink. You know, because guilt is a powerful thing.
A lot of these guys know it's coming. The Orlando Magic cut.
They waved him to that.
Yeah, they couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We come back, man. We in the college. We got correction the boys. We already done started, sort of. So y'all just stay with us. It's the correction.
But the one problem.
That's true.
I'm gonna tell you another problem I have. The Dick Vitales, the Jay Billises.
Oh.
These dudes haven't said a damn word yet. They haven't said a word yet.
Jay Billis too busy doing his Jeezy posts.
Yeah. The start of the day.
I don't understand why people should get so excited off of that.
but it goes back to this. Y'all know it stinks. But because y'all been kissing that dude's behind for the last 20 plus years, it's like, all right, I'm gonna take care of him. Jay hides behind legalese because he's the lawyer, so he hides behind all the legal terms.
Right.
Dick Vitale's just not saying that, and I'm looking at him. I said, dude, you're gonna have within the last year 2 of your favorite paisanos.
Boy, without a doubt.
And what did he go off of? He went off about something last year. I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
It was something like
It
a
had to
storm
eat-
in
it
the
had
court,
to-
some
yeah.
sort of secondary issue. I mean, he lost it. He was red, veins popping out his neck, and all of that, and all this going on. Mum's the word.
In character.
Yeah,
He's in character.
right. And then mum's the word when this going on.
But Izzo's starting to get grilled, and you can see it's taking its toll on him. Like, now, Mark D'Antonio Friday night, like, he went up to the podium for 2 minutes and 52 seconds, and he went up straight Italian. He went straight up like, I'm a true Italian. I just got this $2,000 suit on. I did everything by the rule, by the law, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna answer 2 questions. Did it? Nope. Did it? Nope. Thank you. Out.
See y'all in the free.
I got offset conditions.
Yeah, man.
But like Marlon just say, if you're 5 years old, you get the national attention. But see, the thing that don't nobody want to say, every program has problems.
Oh, absolutely.
Every program.
A lot of people shaking right now.
And you start to wonder, okay, when that spotlight gonna come our way?
Yeah. A lot of people shaking right now because a lot of teams, like you say, man. Because when he said, one of them said something like, ask your mama about that situation. What? Talk to my mama.
Cause think about this. You okay, you had the Patino thing. Like I said, you had the Adidas thing. Then you got the Patino thing. And now here come this.
See, I can go off on a whole different issue.
30 seconds.
Is the fact that those 4 coaches that had the 4 assistants arrested, all of them still have jobs.
Bruce
Two
Pearl.
of them in the top 25
Yeah.
20 seconds.
right now.
Everywhere Bruce Pearl goes problem. So you know.
But he keep getting Atlanta kids.
We're back, man. And before we get into some more college basketball action, is the NCAA, even though they take these hits like they do, and I hate to put this term in here, Maceo, because it's one that we like to use, but does winning and excitement and everything cure all when it's to them? Because as much as Penn State had that whole issue, Happy Valley was packed this year with 92,000 because they was winning.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Understand this, man. We always say this. The money, the almighty dollar, runs this thing. And they operate, people don't understand, they operate as a non-profit. Every red cent goes to their bottom line. You know, they just, University of Alabama made $148 million last year. Come on now.
I got one better for you. Texas made 215.
Because they their own entity. They got their own TV station. They do all the NCAA do is print money. That's all they do.
And Marques just would drive with all that went on at Baylor that we know about. Baylor wins in 2 years. That place is packed again. It's the moral compass of us as humans, just like we don't care. Oh, we saw what we heard. But if you win, we back there spending our money making sure we got them jerseys on again.
It's tough. I think it's one of those things to where I think accountability is key, because if the people that are responsible for those things are held accountable, it doesn't take away the fact that, like you said, in 2 years if they win, the stadium is still going to be packed. But I think there's a way to have both. I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think you can still punish those that need to be held accountable and still be able to enjoy the sports. Because what you don't want to do is, you know, even with the Penn State scenario, you had some student athletes that had nothing to do with that had to deal with the fallout of the implications.
Right.
It's like, you know, let's find a way to make sure we hold those that are accountable, but then don't punish them for others.
I like that.
I mean, let's go back to Louisville. Not before this previous incident, but the one before that. How about when Damian Lee and Ray Lewis took their 5th year and went to Louisville because they were like, we wanted a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. And Louisville decides they want to put a postseason ban on themselves. But they still give these guys rings on senior night. That's BS to me.
Right.
That's complete, total, utter BS.
Right. Yeah.
You robbed those 2 men and the others that were on that roster. that had nothing to do with that overall what had happened in the past, and they got punished for it. I've had my issues with the NCAA for years to be a multi-billion-dollar a year nonprofit, and the best way to do it is you gotta hurt them in their pocketbook.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now the $160 million that Penn State had to pay, that was a drop in the bucket.
Oh, yeah.
You got $1 billion+ endowment.
Without a doubt.
Where you hurt them was when you allowed all those coaches to come on their campus and have free reign.
Take all the key, get everybody you want.
Oof.
To have Lane Kiffin on your campus,
Just
looking at just hanging outside of the classroom.
Y'all free to go wherever you want to go.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean that's where you hurt.
Yep.
And I'll be the first. I got to give James Franklin credit because I didn't think he turned it. I thought Bill O'Brien did a great job.
He had the holes in the middle of the road.
16-9 with that going on,
Yeah.
incredible. But yeah, for James Franklin to do what he's done, I give a lot of props there. I don't know how this whole Michigan State thing is gonna end, but there are a lot of teams across the country right now that are like, you better make sure you have your ducks in order.
And make sure we saw how the NCAA came on Ole Miss, and they basically told all those players, "You free to go where you want to."
Yeah.
I can see this happen. Anything less than that with Michigan State, they got to go in hard.
Yeah. Just think about this, Glaze. Let's just think about the kids who just signed during early signing period in football.
Yeah.
So here I am signing with Michigan State, thinking that hey, I'm going to be here, bowl games, opportunity to play for the national championship. Now, hey, some sanctions might be coming down. So I mean, hey, can I get out my scholarship? Because I mean, I don't want to be here for probation. Yeah. Why punish me?
Like Marques said, we got to. Hey.
Yeah, listen,
Man, I was
at the prom.
I was in the body, man.
I was at the prom when this was going on.
I was on the field working 7-on-7.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is, before she shoot us, go to the NCAA website right now. Guess what they're doing? They selling packages for the Final Four right now.
And what if Michigan State makes it? And they have a good game in Michigan State.
Listen, they not already told them Michigan State.
Boy.
Send everybody, y'all ain't gonna know
Boy, you talking about something.
Y'all ain't gonna know
When we come back, man, we're going into more Crash with the Boys with Coach Lou. And Lou, I want to ask you about a local team that's hot as fire around here, man. Let's talk about it when we come back. Stay with us, it's a Crush.
You know, about Georgia State 7 in a row, huh?
And you see,
The Tigers are Maroon Tigers, man.
wow.
Morehouse.
Oh,
Undefeated.
you see, what was Cole Hunter's son? RJ went for 35 the other night.
Who was that?
In the G League.
So they sent him back down.
Yeah, he down in the G League. He went 39, he had 39, and like 15 boards.
You know I'm still happy, man. My boy Georgia Hunt is still with Minnesota.
Yeah, man.
Oh, he
Love him, man.
He gotta stay.
But you know why he's gonna be good there? Because that's Thibodeau's type of guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's Jimmy Butler, right?
Yep.
Same
Nice
deal.
size, nice everything.
And
He
he
defends.
He understand, look, that's my role.
Yeah.
And I like how he stayed put at North Clayton when he was here because he had a lot of people trying to pull him.
Ooh,
A lot of
been in the
people
world.
pulling North. He stayed right there in Clayton County, man.
He
Got
could
work.
have been in
His
the
work
world.
ethic is Clayton, Tech. Now he and you're right. Thibodeau was the perfect coach.
Right.
Big guard. He can, woo.
I mean, I'll give you another one. I never thought Malcolm Brogdon would do what he's doing in pro. Dude, rookie of the year last year.
I wasn't thinking rookie of the year, but I knew he'd be that good because he grew up training with Mahmoud Abdul-Rahman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
I
can
did
see
not know
that.
Okay.
And then you could always see he was a guy like he's gonna play basketball. Like when he would be in all-star games, the kid would be miserable. He'd be miserable because he don't know how to play that kind of jog.
That
up
is
and down
selfish.
swag.
Yeah,
He know how to
yeah.
play that swag game.
Right.
I'm out here to play some real basketball, bro.
Right.
And that's what he do, man.
What he goes good?
GAC, Greater Atlanta Christian.
But he went to
27.
J.D.
Martin.
Isaiah
went
Wilkins.
to
But you know, that's why I'm just putting that out there about the talent. You know, still
15.
Oh, we know.
Coming back.
Hey, we're back, man. Right now, man, we're about to crash the board with our coach, Coach Preston. What's up, Coach?
What's going on?
Hey, man, just tell me right off the top, man, what's got you? outside of Michigan State? What's got you in what's going on in college basketball that got you out right now?
Purdue winning their 17th straight game.
There he is. There he is.
Having a chance to watch them against Indiana for a little while yesterday. I've always said to be a national championship team, you got to be able to win in a variety of ways. Mm-hmm. And Purdue has that team. You know, I mean, Haas, 26 yesterday. I love Vince Edwards. I've always loved him, even when he was in high school back in Ohio, in Middletown. They just know how to play. Mm-hmm. Villanova's just Villanova.
Villanova.
And I mean, they're shooting what, 51% from the field, maybe 42% of the team from three.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
Virginia once again death by 1,000 paper cuts.
They're tough.
They just take and defend you. Do what they do.
Well, Coach,
yeah.
Can Virginia? We've seen this year in the year.
Not built for a national championship.
Okay.
Yeah. I just gonna go ahead and answer
okay.
that.
Thank you.
You gonna jump on that?
You already knew
every year they gonna be a story, but they just
they're a Sweet 16 team, and then I mean after that you get exposed because every time you play a team that's got two bigs,
right?
They don't have that second big that can, you know.
So wait a minute, Marques. So Purdue dude,
number 3 in the country.
So when you see Indiana, when you beat Indiana, that got to make you feel a little good.
I mean, that was a great win, man, and I thought Indiana really made them work for them. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I loved watching it. Not to mention you got Al Durham, who an Atlanta transplant that's up there now. Yeah. So yeah, man, they're playing some great ball up there.
Once again, another kid.
Hey man,
not on the flats or not down.
Why every time y'all say somebody, I say, "Where you from here?" Okay.
Yeah. Terrible.
Which bring me to this, Coach.
Terrible.
Okay, so let me just run down. For all those who don't know, shout out to Morehouse College, man. Y'all are doing some great things for Division II basketball right now. The only undefeated team in all of Division basketball sports.
Every level.
Congratulations. Them Clark is having a great season as well. Mm-hmm. Shout out to them. I just
you got Rasheed Wallace over there working.
He's working with the bigs. Yeah, he's got some work in. Let's go through it real quick. I can tell you about Kennesaw State. They're still missing some players. They steal some bigs away. So we go to the, and Al he said he got a recruiting class come in. We're going to see. So that A-Sun is a little tough for them. Right. A-Sun's got some great teams. Mm-hmm. But then we go to the big squads, Georgia State, and Tech. We all know State seem like they got the best team out of those three.
Schedule them. Put them on schedule, Tech and Georgia.
They scared to put them on there, man.
Tech had them on the exhibition.
What happened?
No, I'm talking about playing.
Yeah.
Playing when it counts.
But like Coach Hunter said, when you put the uniform on, I don't care. You still play.
Oh no doubt. But
and DeMarcus had 32 against him at 4 straight.
Well, I'm at Georgia Tech every week. Coach, they don't have no score.
Right.
When Okogie gets bottled up or his shot not on, mm-hmm. it just throws it off for everybody.
You can hone in on Okogie because one of the things, Tadrick Jackson coming out of high school was known as a three-point shooter.
Yeah.
And he's still at about 23-24%.
The game is overwhelming right now.
Right.
College is overwhelming right now.
But then Lammers, who, kind of snuck up on some people. Yeah. And he's not sneaking up on anybody this year. And I just don't think there's enough. There's not enough on the roster that scares me.
Josh has to, this offseason, has to work on his jump shot.
Yeah.
Has to work on his jump. He got to develop a pull up. He got to be able to catch and just put it up. Because until he does that, people just gonna lay off him. Mm-hmm. You're not blowing by me. Right. I'm just shoot, Josh, shoot that all day. Shoot it all day.
And he's already had to make some adjustments because his bread and butter has always been his motor, the ability to move without the ball.
Right.
One of those guys that can get you 16, 18 points with no play being called for him. But like you said, with the lack of scoring options, he has to take on a role that he got to put some off-season work in to be able to knock that J down.
Now, real quick, Coach, the one thing I will say I like about this Clemson squad, they have age. You said they're old team. They have a lot of juniors. I looked at their roster. I'm like, you know what? This is a team that could really be dangerous in the tournament because they got guys who play a lot of basketball.
Don't scare me now because they lost their bread and butter in Grantham when he tore his ACL. So I'm just real talk.
Mr. DeVoe went ham last night.
When you lose somebody like that, that's just hard. It's hard.
And the fist is up. We'll be right back.
The fist is up.
DeVoe had 18.
Hanging with me.
No problem, bro. I'm having a blast, man.
Is anybody? Let me ask this, dude. All this talent in Georgia. We got one going from Newton going to Georgia.
Oh, you got one guy that does an incredible job, but
Is all this talent? Does Pashner, does Georgia, or anybody have a chance to wrap up anymore to close the borders anytime soon? But they running out like you know how the gate get open Mayfield, and they running out like
They're not
that.
even thinking that pass. They're not even giving Pastor time today.
no, I'm gonna go back to this. When I first got down here, I went to lunch with Paul Hewitt. And I asked Coach Hewitt, I said, how have you had success here? And he said, I only deal with one of them. And I know I can pluck certain kids from other programs. So when he was here, when he first got started, it was Wallace. It was the Celtics. That was the guys he dealt with.
And neither one of them guys with him play that game.
Right. And then he could still go get a Georgia Star.
Right, Wallace. Coach Javar's credit.
Yeah. I could still go
There you go. I could be a little bit of a hothead at times. There you go.
I could still go get an Atlanta Express. But also at that time, there's only 4 of them. There's about 20 of them, man.
Yeah,
There's about 28 a year.
But still, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's the consistent ones got those guys.
Yeah.
Boy,
Paul Hewitt was ahead of his time.
your boy Makisha, he the man to see.
Yeah.
The point guard there.
Shereen.
He the man to see.
Play the game, man.
But then they all run with AOT, right? So it's like you gotta talk to Omar.
Got to.
When you talk about Omar from the Y,
Nah, they won't get in bed. They won't get in bed with him.
but I think it's interesting with Fox having Hagens and then he got the King, you got Elijah. Like, do they make the decision to give him another shot, or Kirby's done what he needs to do? Now I gotta go get a smoker, and knowing Greg McGarry, right? He'll go get one of them dudes who got Florida.
Just gotta give him another shot.
Because they don't want to
Gotta
explain
give him
to the
a
blood
shot.
when everybody be like, well, why take? And I'm like, listen,
30
y'all don't
seconds.
understand.
It's a different game now, man.
Basketball recruiting that is so much different from football.
Yeah.
Just think if he was able to close the border last year with 3, all of me done all.
Like get
He should at
2.
least got MJ.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we thought.
Yeah.
Like, you at least get
At least got MJ.
I thought he had MJ, but he.
15.
See why? See why gets it done, man.
That might be the guy I gotta bring back here. Seriously. He ain't the man for no reason.
Cause we interviewed him last year, he was doing it. Trying to get him. Hey man, we still here talking college. It's been fun, man. I'm cleaning my web of the football. It's cleaning up. I'm trying to get my head right now. Coach, give me Coach Preston's top 5 teams in the country right now.
Villanova. I'd actually put Purdue at number 2 over Virginia. Virginia gets the benefit of the doubt because they're in the ACC.
What you call them? 1,000 paper cuts?
They get about 1,000 pesos. And Virginia 3. Duke right there at 4. I mean, I talks about Kansas, all these difference. I have a hard time spitting out having Arizona come out of my mouth. Let me just say, I'm not gonna punish the kids. Arizona's very good.
Yeah.
Arizona's very good.
They deep and good.
But once again, I don't know how those guys involved with the guys that were arrested.
Yeah.
Outside of Mike Boynton, because Mike Boynton, he's sitting in that seat at Oklahoma State for the first year. But I don't know how those other guys. But once again, I'm not privy to all that information.
Is Duke the most tournament-ready team?
No.
Who's the
I already know who the most tournament-ready team is right now.
Purdue?
Those Boilermakers. They can win the ugly game. It's that Big Ten defense, and they can knock down the 3-ball and got dropped on us.
I would agree with you on that one, but there's a team.
Yeah, real quick on that one.
No, there's a team in the suburbs of Philadelphia called Villanova that won that championship a couple years ago. That's kept that culture in place, And by the way, this might be his best 3-point shooting team he's ever had.
Coach,
That's impressive.
you know what team got my attention?
Who?
It's Timmy from Crazy.
Who?
Xavier.
Yeah.
That just
It's like every year though, man.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
somebody,
a good
and they kind of a little bit remind me of Purdue because they can win an ugly game,
Yeah, yeah.
or they can just come in and if everything is right,
Right.
they will shoot your lights out.
Yeah. And I gotta give a shout out to assistant with Xavier, Mike Pegues, because Mike Pegues be down here in Georgia.
Okay.
He be down here covering the boys.
He be all over
Well,
down
you know,
on
and
the
it's so
boy.
crazy. They got
He
the kid Harden, Elias Harden.
Elias
Yeah.
Harden,
Yeah.
Pembroke.
Yeah, from Pembroke.
Kaiser Gates from St. Francis.
St. Francis. Yeah. By the way, Kaiser Gates wasn't a great 3-point shooter at St. Francis, shooting 43% right now.
Worked on his game.
Might be the best 6-man in the country.
Worked on his game.
Might be the best.
Since this
six-man.
guy knows he's a high school guy, he's in the top 3 sophomores in the state of Georgia right now.
Oh, boy.
Top 3 sophomores. I say Brandon Boston, Anthony Edwards.
Name the school too.
Brandon Boston, Norcross, Anthony Edwards, Holy Spirit Prep. Who am I leaving off? Sharif Cooper
Yeah.
at McKeachie. Those
Blaze, you got to go see Sharif Cooper.
Oh, it's happening.
You
It's
got
happening.
to go see him play. I was just so impressed with this kid.
You talked about him last year.
Great.
He was a freshman.
I was sitting there, I was like, listen, who is that?
I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I did not think that there would be a team that was as deep as those Norcross teams back in the mid 2000s when they won back to
Right.
back.
Is that the Jody Meek days?
Jody Meeks,
Yeah.
Donnie
Right.
Lawal,
Yeah.
Alpha
Right.
Rukaminu, Jordan Emerson, who went to Florida State. I mean, they were deep.
Amino in there too?
Yeah, Alpha Rook went there too.
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, that McKeachum team
Is that deep?
is deep.
All right.
And
so
then they just got a
okay.
kid that transferred in from La Lumiere, Charles Smith IV. He a 5-star too.
But what was funny about that kid, the McKees team last year, and I can imagine, of course, they're better this year. As deep as that Wheeler team was last year, they ran Wheeler out the gym in their own
That's what they
tournament.
said. They beat Wheeler in the tournament.
They ran Wheeler out the gym, and he controlled the whole tempo. And Louis, at that time, Wheeler had the kid that went to Louisville, the guard.
Yeah,
Darius
Darius Perry.
Man, ate his lunch
Right.
as a ninth grader.
Right.
How tall is it? 5'9"?
His hair probably make him about 5'11".
But y'all want to know what gives me a hard time right now? Somewhere Joel Hillsman's listening to this.
He already coming.
He's already recording you. So you'll be hearing.
Yeah, you keep on getting ready to lose. I don't know why you.
Joel Hillsman somewhere working on his J.
Oh, it's coming.
Record this.
Oh, it's coming.
And he's gonna hit me so hard, right? And I've had to bite my tongue.
I'm watching
all
that
year long.
telecast just to hear this.
Right.
Right.
You know I'm tuned in.
And I'll be like,
He gonna come at me like,
I'm just
He
saying.
gonna come at me like an ex-girlfriend. Like an ex-girlfriend at a reunion. That's exactly how he gonna come at me.
And you gonna do? You're gonna be like, you gonna sound like Puff Daddy. Take that. He's just gonna keep getting to you.
I'm gonna wear my hair just like he like it.
You know what? I'm gonna go to the punch bowl and throw the whole punch bowl at him. I'm gonna keep acting.
Hey,
Because
man,
he's been telling me all year, Coach, I'll back everything going. I can't. Oh.
And then you saw it, Coach. You might. Hey man, at least you came and said it, man. At least you.
No. I respect talent, but I respect chemistry. And like I asked Coach Thompson, how you gonna keep this chemistry intact? Because there's people up in the stands too that can mess your chemistry up as well.
You about to take this butt whipping from Joel next week. So we'll be right back. Stay with us.
And I know that dude.
Yeah, that's.
I bet you.
He
Surprised
texted
he
me.
hadn't texted me yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, you looking at the Dix National Champion protection.
Yeah,
It's
that's
big
what
in
I
the
heard.
state.
That's
It's big in the
big.
state. The only issue is going to be they're not running into any adversity between
No.
now and the playoffs. If they get some
Exactly.
bad officiating,
Yeah.
you know, it would be good if they could run into some adversity so when the chips get down, they can kind of see how that mess.
Yeah, see how they play.
Right now, it's no rocking in the boat whatsoever, man. They're just cut above everybody. Everybody come in and get 12 players scored the other day.
I heard one. I'm bringing that.
12 players scored from him the other day.
12.
And this is the craziest thing. I actually told North Cobb's coaching staff afterwards. I said, y'all play hard. And that was just running into a whole different level.
How deep was How deep was
No car with that deep.
Oh, okay.
No car
I
with
think
that
about
deep.
5, 6 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, they were bringing. I'm telling you, it was like a college team.
So
Like, oh my
they
God.
just going ways.
Like,
And you know how when you blow out somebody, you still bring out the bench. You're like,
Look, he trying to remind you of old Know the Rich Day, 40 minutes ahead.
yeah. I said Noah built the ark for twos.
Yeah.
They had threes. They had threes. Like an ark and a half.
yeah, I guess I'll be headed that way. Watch them play.
And then
But you say though, they
the
ain't got
defend makes a big difference too, bro.
Yeah.
That'd be different if they kind of slack on deep. No, they're
Nah.
not slack. They
Well,
got
you can run them bodies like
they got a
that.
6'10" kid in there, and he coming to get everything like his life depends. He's coming to get everything.
everything
I'm
in
not
there.
exaggerating. But he coming to get everything.
So they got height, everything.
Everything.
How you know they grew him up there?
I'm telling you, dude from North Cobb broke away and went to lay it up, and Akambola got the goaltend on it, but it was like that NBA deal, like Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna see the ball going to basket.
Yeah.
He went over there.
Smack it off. I'm a Klinko it. Just so I'm making hit off for 3
You can
games.
have
let you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Just 'cause.
Dude ran down the court. He did like this. He was like,
Oh, the Hawks beat the
30
two.
seconds.
Hawks need to be tanking.
We need some number ones. We don't need no 10s.
Yeah, we don't need no wins.
We need some number
We
one.
need a minute lottery balls. We can get in
Yeah,
there.
man. We need
"We
25.
got 4 picks."
Stop waiting.
We need 25.6%.
We need all our.
Come back to the rundown.
We're gonna take everybody to do. Everybody.
All of them. Just give me everybody.
Give us one deal. Mr. Bagley. Squeeze, take Grayson Allen to this.
No, just give me Colin Sexton.
Can't bring him up.
Hey, we're going to this Crush Recap brought to you by
Blunt Power.
Blunt Power 3 sprays last for days. You can find out more about
Blunt Power.
We're going to their website, bluntpower.com, or going to their Facebook and our Twitter page at Blunt Power. Hey, Marques, man, thank you, brother, for showing up and coming through, man.
Man, pleasure, my brothers.
Man, only guy in here with a coat on and ain't sweat a lick. That's how cool he
Yeah, I
is.
try, you know what I'm saying?
That's the Indiana baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. He used to have been chilly.
Hey, I don't always do talk radio, but when I do it with the Crush Sports
That's right,
Talk.
man.
Hey.
I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Also, Marcus got the same barber as Mike Tomlin with that fade. He got right there. That fade is tight.
Hey, man, shout out to my guy D, man.
Man,
You know what I'm
Mike
saying?
Tomlin.
You got to do that weekly, though, right? You weekly with that.
Got
right?
to.
Yeah.
Got to, bro. Got to do it while I still can, man. I'm about 2 years away from coming on home. About 2 years away from coming on home, man. Getting there and go while I can, fella.
I remember.
How long you with, Mace?
I remember the day it happened. I was dead fresh too. Everything was fresh but the house.
But the hell?
Shout say, but let it go. It's time.
You had that George Jefferson.
Nah. I still had. So what happened was I just kept letting it grow out. So I just let it grow. I just getting lined up,
Oh, okay.
and then I messed around. They cut it low one time. And then, I was like, oh, like I called Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods took his head off. And was shaking. I said, oh,
Hey, Tiger. Hey.
Tiger, unless you're gonna do the deal. Tiger, let it go, Tiger.
I know how it is when they go too low. I had to do a 30 with a barber. I'm just gonna take a full, bro. You cannot go that low again. Not sure that front part can bounce back. But I'm gonna make it a full.
And it was so crazy. I was doing the Mason Bethel half at the time.
Oh, you
so I
had
was doing
good.
Caesar.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh man, that's why like I said, I let it grow out. Cause you kind of feel it. You got an idea, and then my barber messed around and we miscommunicated.
Worst thing ever.
And so I was like lined up. He thought he heard me say take it down. I seen him put that one guard on. They go, hey! I seen all that roll down the papers. Bro,
You still in your feelings about
in my
this, you know?
feelings.
I tell everybody, women, y'all have the long ones, y'all pay them more.
Yeah.
Brothers and barbers, that's a great, that relationship matters, man. Yeah, boy.
I tell you, we can't give enough props up our way to John Haynes because that dude takes great care of us
boy.
and everything.
Tough,
Because
If it's a
man,
brother, I see him cutting people hair, and I was like, you hanging on.
oh,
yeah.
like, dudes are like this.
Hey, I want to get that hair, man.
Hey man, listen, it's real.
If you had a goal for SUV TV, what would that be?
I'd say the goal would be to to not only expand beyond what we do from an internet standpoint, but to be able to bridge that gap between what we do now and linear TV. That's the biggest goal.
That's huge.
We like cousins or something because we on the same path.
And
Trajectory.
And the most impressive part about it is that sitting with all three of you here, you get in there. And the infamous, I always tell this buddy of mine, he actually just called me, Anthony Solomon, stay the course.
Oh yeah.
Stay the course. Because if you don't have anybody out here knocking, they don't respect it. They don't respect the game you bring in.
Without a doubt. So, and you know what's funny? One of the things, and I tell Glaze this a lot, and I noticed that you do it a lot with SUBTV, we're able to create our own content. You know, we don't have to go take it to a board and be like, nah, I'll come back with something else. We can wake up and say, hey, let's shoot this show.
Yes, sir.
And can't nobody tell us, nah, you can't do that.
Yep, that voice and that platform is key because now you got a lot of people that want the likes and the traffic and the footprint, and it's less about the authenticity.
And it's no quality.
No quality.
The quality is terrible.
No authenticity in the voice, and that makes a big difference.
Let me ask you a question, because I hear the broadcast between Lewis and Georgia Hoop Circle and Joe. Do you have to say, hey fellas, can we call the game a little bit?
Oh yeah.
And we talk about the play because they be talking. I be like, God dang.
Yeah, man.
I love all of them. Coach Mays, they family, they've all been on the show, man. They folk. But I just hear them sometimes. I be like, they just get to talking. I be like, I can hear you say, hey.
Hey man, it's kind of just like sports. You know what I'm saying? You see Odell Beckham catch a ball. You know, you'll let the Incredible Hulk kicks slide. You know what I'm saying? You'll let the kick in a field goal in there, and you let that slide, man. Look at what he's putting up for me, man.
Right. Let him put up.
You know.
But I think the most important part of this was Marques actually brought this concept and we talked about it over a year ago. And then we happened to all get back together over at Norcross at Sean's event on the Radar Hoop. And we were talking about it. He said, I'm tired of talking about it. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I know, we all sitting over at CBA Sports on a Wednesday evening and talking about hoops. Yeah. And that's how it starts. And I think one of the most important things is just don't lose sight of your vision. Just got to make sure you have the right people on board.
Without a doubt. That's the major part of it.
I mean, believe me, I could write a book on having the wrong people on the bus. John Gordon wrote the book, The Energy Bus.
Right.
And yeah, I can write the Vampire Bus.
I tell Glaze this all the time. You know, my motto is always protect the energy. And don't give it to, you know, people who don't you know, they alright, let's stay on over there because you're not about this life. You're not about this life.
I'm coming for y'all throat anyway.
Yeah. Well, no more Mr. Nice Guy for me, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking the title back. I'm official jerk again.
Yeah, I'm the humble one again.
Deal with it.
Well, thank you, guy. Hey, man, we appreciate it. We definitely crush in the SUV TV. We'll be doing things in the future. Y'all can count on that.
Sir.
Chess match. Maceo will tell you about moving that rook.
I don't know nothing about it.
You don't know nothing about it?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Hey, and also, man, I want y'all to go back and see something. When I went into that Norcross, I think me and Max, we had came from somewhere. I said, let me just run to Norcross. You would have thought CBS or somebody was there. They had the pregame, they had the in-between, the halftime. He running around with a computer in his hand like, man, I got to go cut this up real quick. I'll holler at you, Glay. It's just premier. Shout out to your crew. Shout out to everybody. Malik, Leah, Coach, Marques.
Yay!
Blessing, man. Appreciate you, brothers.
I'm throwing it up. My guy right there.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Move the rook 2 places.
Joe Hisman, he's all yours this week, buddy. Get him, Joe. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
We gone, y'all.
Yes,
Peace.
Boy, you have no idea. I'm going to get the business.
Oh, yeah.
Joe tough now.
He gonna get to you, man.
Joe tough.
Joe,
I-
have
but I
a
had-
cheer
but I-
section up there as soon as you walk out.